Hey guys, yours truly, Kevin Grace, reporting to you from what used to be 163 Kutsher Road. Behind me was a very famous resort here in the Catskills called Kutsher's Resort. It was owned by Milton and Helen Kutsher. It was very popular from the 1950s all the way through the 1980s. A lot of famous comedians started their stand-up career here as well early in their career, such as Jerry Seinfeld, Dean Martin, Woody Allen. You had musicians like Louis Armstrong performed here, and you even had a famous bellhop who was NBA Hall of Famer Wilt Chamberlain. He worked here in the summertime. There's some pictures of him in his little bellhop uniform and ushering cars in. This place had two pools, one indoor, one outdoor. It had a ice skating rink, had several tennis courts. As a matter of fact, across the road here, you can still see the remnants of the tennis court. Down here was the golf course. It was 18 holes. You could still see some of the sand traps. I did some video so you can see that. I'll post it with this video. Also, there was so much to do here. Meals were, of course, kosher. I think, you know, the popularity started waning a little bit more in the 80s and the 90s. The younger generation didn't want to come up here to the Catskills. The husband, Milton, wound up passing away in about 1998. His wife, Helen, she would take care of all the reservations. She remembered everybody's name. In about 2007, they started telling people that they were kind of closed for renovations. And things started waning as far as the popularity. Like I said, people started traveling to other locations, the younger generation. Helen wound up passing away in Philadelphia in 2013. There's still a couple of buildings that are still left. The main building over there is still standing. They said they had 400 rooms in the hotels. They had bungalows. They had 2 summer camps here. They had a lot of things to do up here, and they also had a lake around here as well. So there was a lot of things to do. Unfortunately, I can't get past this fence that's locked to come in here closer and get some other pictures, but I will show you what video I do have of the golf course and the remnants of the tennis courts across the road as well. You even had some celebrities like Muhammad Ali, Leon Spinks, and Floyd Patterson. They came up here to work out and train. So this was a very, like I said, popular resort, and this was really the place to be. As you can see, here's the whole bunch of tennis courts, the remaining. You can see the lines right out here. If you like this video, please subscribe down below, click that red button, and feel free to leave any comments about Kutsher's Resort here in the Catskills.
Works as a bellhop, this 7'1", 17-year-old giant.
We're going to get a 6, 7, or 8 footer going to come out of Philadelphia and work with us. He was going to be a bellhop.
Chamberlain is an A student. The college and professional hoop scouts are hot on his trail.
We were not only hotel people, we were sports people.
I'm Barry Lewis, and welcome to this very special edition of Classic Catskills, a walking tour of Sullivan County. I'm going to take you inside Kutsher's Country Club, have you meet the matriarch of Sullivan County, Helen Kutsher, her son Mark Kutsher, and relive some of the great memories of this century-old classic Catskill resort. It's a special one.
I was here since I was a little boy. I remember the years when there were 300-400 hotels and maybe 2,000-3,000 bungalow colonies in this area. As I grew up, we would go to the hotels at night to watch the shows when I was 15, 16 years old.
Every one of the places up here tended to be a reflection of the ownership of the hotels. And for us, we were a very sports-oriented hotel, whether it was the basketball that was happening. Because basketball was big in the Catskills. Boxing was a big thing. Floyd Patterson trained here, Archie Moore, Muhammad Ali.
People may not realize this, but you were actually Will Chamberlain's adopted mother.
Yes, yes, I was. So he called us that. Wilt worked here as a bellhop.
Nobody threw the rabbi anything. All the money into the priest's basket, the rabbi, goodish, nothing.
And then you had the entertainment, whether it was Alan King or Red Buttons or Jackie Mason, Buddy Hackett. I would bring up acts, who our guests would say, who are these people? And I'd bring them in on a Saturday night in the summer. The first one, I think, was Billy Crystal. Then Jerry Seinfeld, who was a terrific young comic on his way up. I remember the last time I talked to him backstage, and I said, what's happening? What's in your future? And he said to me, he says, well, we've got this pilot that I'm hoping, catches on. I'll let you know. Well, we do know. Entertainment was one thing. Food and the service in the dining room and the facilities. Years ago, people used to swim in the lake, which was nice. And all of a sudden, said, we got to have an outdoor pool. So you built one. And then we were busy building an indoor pool, because you got to have an indoor pool. Golf was a growing sport, so we built 9 holes. Then a few years later, we built another 9 holes. That's what was happening up here.
When did you begin to realize the Catskills were changing?
Well, it was 60s and 70s. It started the changes were taking place. We could see it. When the hotel started closing, and one after another, for whatever reason, they closed. And when we start a year that some of the people are no longer around, either they're ill or they're not alive.
Yes, I remember.
That's what saddens me.
From the point of view of being one of the last Catskill hotels around, it's a little lonelier.
In 74.
My generation is probably the last generation that will come to the hotels. It's not the way it was. It's coming to an end. So, that's the way it is.